Ready? Call the regular Dickinson County Commission meeting, March 21st, 2024. Please stand for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the consent agenda with additional item of proposals for government government website. I'll move that we approve the amended agenda with that.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Consent agenda. Minutes of the March 14th meeting. Expenditures of $316,772.46. SD security wire, $4,560. Hand checks of $273.64. Special check, hand check for county attorney of $11. Special check for county attorney for $1,059.94. New jeans wire of $592.50. Utilities wires of $13,581.83 and abatements of $1,049.28. I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any other discussion? Not all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Lynn, commission comments and your committee reports.
I attended Central Kansas Mental Health Board meeting this past Monday, and they're working on the budget and budget requests for counties, and they have additional needs and expanding their footprint and just lots of factors, but they're involved in quite a few things that are helpful to our county and to our region. It's a 5-county group that is in Central Kansas Mental Health. Also, I happened to go to the C.L. Hoover Opera House building, and they had an expansion over there and have some meeting rooms, and just it's been done really in a great way. But also ran into County Commissioner Keith Asher, and he talked about if we have our group go over there, they're be willing to host or eager to host. But I think when is our next one? Is going to be.
So the Highway Association meeting is in 2 weeks, but I've reached out to Commissioner
County group.
Right. And I've reached out to Tricia Giordano and their finance director, and they're going to start working on hosting because it should be Gary County is the next one in turn.
Okay.
The last one we held here in 22, and then technically they were all invited to attend the open of the Saline County Jail, but I don't think there were very many that were in attendance for that.
You might ask her or talk to her. I mean, I've initiated some of the conversation with Keith. I don't think he was trying to, I mean, maybe she's the one in charge of it or all of their commission, but see if they'd be interested in that location, because I think it'd be very accommodating, but it's very well done. There's also Military Affair Council breakfast next Thursday, and I'll plan to attend that. And then we talked about this earlier, but I stopped at the Irish Den, which is a facility where youth participate and go to after school and after games and so on. And it's really well done and meeting a need that all communities have. And this is more specific to Chapman. And so anyway, that was interesting to see their facility there and hear about some of the things they're doing. That's all I have.
Thank you. I heard this morning Dustin Parks was in for our IT department, gave us kind of went through the government GovBuild program that we'd be taking a look at the deal. Jessica Goodall was here with the Dickinson County Economic Development Corporations. I was kind of interested or surprised that there is 470 businesses in the county. And Chancey Smith was here. He went yesterday with Janelle and Marcus to Beloit, and it was on cybersecurity. I did get a couple of gifts in the mail that I'll do them now. Got a Joyce Rock on the surveying company that was doing the work out there. And I believe that's all I have. I think we should go right to Janelle because we're gonna have plenty of time to get done.
Well, any other public comments?
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I forgot that. Anybody have? Yes, I'm sorry. Sorry, Ray.
Okay.
No, it's not.
And we have a couple people online,
Yeah.
but I don't know if they want.
It doesn't look like they have any comments right now.
I'm forgiving. Maybe you're going to address this in your agenda, but curious to know who put the holes in those county roads and who authorized it. As of last week, some of the holes were filled in and some were not. Some places there is more than one hole. That's all I had. Thank you.
Yeah. Martin's addressing the issue and stuff. And Janelle, go ahead and answer it.
Those are surveyors, and in the state of Kansas, surveyors are allowed on property to conduct surveys of land. They're looking for the pins, and they have a right to go out and do that. And then we have also addressed it with the wind farm company and asked them to come back in and fill the holes. So they didn't have to get permission from the county to do that. We've got surveyors that routinely are in the county performing that function, and they don't always notify us as that's what they're doing. So
The county didn't,
it wasn't initiated by us.
we aren't paying that surveyor or asked them to do any of that.
Correct.
So the wind farm was.
The wind farm is the one in this instance that was asked the survey companies to come in and perform the surveys there. So
Locate the center county mile lines and center markers.
correct.
Okay. Nobody online then? Then we'll go.
But you did mention that Martin was going to look at some of those sites and make sure that it was restored up to a standard that was expected.
Exactly. Yes.
Good.
No. And that's what he's been down and done that. And that's why we reached out to Anel and asked them to have their survey groups come back in and fill them.
Any other comments?
Nobody else online.
Janelle?
Commissioners, a few things going on in the county. 1505 Oak Road is now open. That bridge has been replaced. It took a little bit because of the weather, but that's done. And part of our tour, we're going to look at 1145 First Road. That's the bridge that we're sharing with Clay County. The dirt work is almost completed. In fact, that was pretty quick, so that's good. And then the next thing that they'll be working on would be the approaches. County is currently hauling gravel for our upcoming chip seal and overlay projects that we're working on for this summer. And they're crack sealing on Mink Road. IT's been working on several software programs used by the department. So that is basically our accounting software. There's updates that have come out for that. And cybersecurity training, as you mentioned, we've got that coming up and trying to prepare for, heaven forbid that happens to us. We don't want that. And as Craig mentioned, that Chancey talked about disaster training for staff. That's another piece of it. But what our departments would be responsible for, what our assets are around the county and around the region. And then Tim will have a planning and zoning board meeting. I have that backwards on here, Thursday evening. And they're just looking at the regulations right now is what the plan is.
There's nothing to come before them. They're just updating it.
Right. So and that's all I would have.
Any questions for Lynn? No. Doug?
Thank you. Got two things. One is I'm helping with Recovery Corp for a while now and see if we can help system. It's working well and there's a lot of good people involved in it. And so I'll step in and see where I can help in that area. And then there was also a request for some microphones, for a courtroom number 1 where most of the jury trials are done. And it's not picking up the sound from those that are in the jury who may be asking questions, et cetera. And that would interfere with our transcripts. And so got a hold of Janelle and looks like that's going to be moving in the right direction. And And you folks already may have already
Yeah.
covered that. And so the cost is known. And
What is the time frame on that? For the next jury trial?
No, because the next jury trial starts Monday.
I figured it.
Mhm. But the hope is to have it done. I believe there's 4 scheduled in April. But the hope is to have it done then. It's the same company that we used that installed the audio visual in both courtrooms, that it's doing the work for us.
I know at least one of the trials in April have already been resolved.
Oh, good.
So that's all I have.
So sometimes it may be that the person can't hear as well as some people, but they're still a juror. I mean, so what are they saying? Would you repeat that, or would you speak up a little bit, or?
Yeah, if somebody's on the jury and if they had questions or anything, their conversations are not being picked up because there's no mic for it.
Oh,
And so that can interfere with the transcript that goes up on an appeal. You take a serious case of a murder case or any other high level case, why there would be a transcript prepared. But if it's not getting picked up, then it's not going to show in that, and that's going to compromise the case.
And I think also sometimes on Zoom, sometimes they have trouble in the jury box hearing the either witness or defense on the Zoom or the webinar coming across. They have trouble picking that up sometimes.
but it's like $4,000 or $6,000.
Yeah.
We'll be able to
4256.
address it and take care of it.
Yes, yes, we can.
So it's reasonably easy fix.
Yes, yeah,
I mean, other than,
Time-wise.
time wise.
glad you brought it up to us, though.
All right. All I have. Thank you.
Any questions? I guess you did. Jennifer? Yeah, you can sit there.
Okay,
Give your
I'll
name.
put the camera on.
the unofficial results for the,
Name and title.
oh, excuse me, Jennifer Dayton, I am the deputy county clerk. The unofficial results that we have for the 2024 presidential preference primary election that was held on March 19th, 2024, is that we had 13,354 registered voters. There was 1,168 ballots cast, which gave a total voter turnout of 8.75%. And we want to remind everybody that the election canvass is tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. here.
Oh, it says on our website, it's 9 o'clock. That's right. It does on your website, it says 9 o'clock.
Maybe I have that wrong.
But it's 9:30. I
9:30.
had down.
9:30 is what Raquel had told me.
Okay,
Isn't that what I sent you in the email?
I can
No,
do that.
but I looked at the website, it
Website
says
says 9.
9 o'clock.
I mean, if we show up at 9, would be done earlier. It's just whatever you want to do.
Well, I'd really show up at
I'll
9.
look at,
Okay, we can have it at 9.
Well, I'm
I'll
gonna
have to
make
see what it
sure,
has, what we have.
we'll make sure before we get out of here today, that
Yes.
I looked to see, because I've got an appointment in Kansas City tomorrow.
Mhm.
Okay, we'll go on from that.
Yes.
Notice of communication, nothing?
Well, I'm not done yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Jeez, a little short there, we're
Take a breath and things are done.
we have the USD 435 bond election coming up on April 18th. And that will involve 4 locations because they must live in the US 435 district to vote on that bond. And that will be Abilene, Talmadge, Grant, and Solomon locations that will be open. So the deadline to register to vote for that election coming up is March 28th next week.
Yes, next Thursday.
And then advanced voting starts March 29th. That's the next Friday, I believe.
Yes.
And then that will go until April 17th at noon. Now that's.
Well, I'm gonna ask a question. How many people voted in advance for the president's primary?
I don't have that broke down.
You don't?
I think it was 114 when I voted, and there was still a day ago or a day and a half.
I don't know that number.
Okay.
You know, something I do want to bring up, though, because we had a situation in a previous election where the pre-printed ballots, which are fairly expensive to print,
Mhm.
well, I mean, they're reasonable, but there's an expense.
Yes.
And when they saw they were going to be a little bit short, you were able to print a ballot so people could vote that would show up because they have the right to vote, but then those had to be hand counted.
Yes.
And I know I had some feedback from people to say, well, you could have printed additional ballots, would be helpful. And and here's an instance where you have 40% projected turnout or that possibility and only 8%. And so people choosing not to vote, here we've had ballots that will just be disposed of, but we still have the printing costs. And, it's almost like,
It's a gamble.
well, or some, you take like the food business. I mean, if they prepare enough food and half the crowd shows up that they thought were going to show up, they've got a problem. And if they run out of food, they have a problem. But those ballots, are they like there's an expense.
They are 5 cents a ballot.
Then they'll have the water seal on them, so the price will probably go up.
Probably more than that.
So, but we have to, and you're absolutely correct. There's a percentage that we need to factor in to have on hand. And that is an estimate based on previous elections. But if we don't have them, then we have to provide them with a ballot if they come in to vote. So.
And if the weather's good, they're going to come in. And if it's bad, they won't show up.
Right.
Or if it's a
But then usually.
hot button issue.
Well, and then usually though, what you've had in the past for like special elections and stuff.
Right.
So history. At all, Lynn?
Yes.
No notice of communications, introductions, and consider resolutions? None. Unfinished business? None. Approval of the signed grant agreement application page for the State of Kansas ADAT.
Commissioners, you know that the health department manages a number of grants for programs that we offer on behalf of the state. And this is a housekeeping matter. The grants that we are requesting you approve today would be for public health emergency preparedness, mother-child health, the state formula, and immunizations. We're requesting that you approve $94,250 in grant request. Those funds offset a portion of the salaries to run the programs, or it helps also on the immunizations, purchase immunizations. So we would request that you sign the application and we'll submit it to the state, and then they will let us know how much funding that we would be qualified for.
Any other questions for Janelle? I move we approve and sign the grant application page for State of Kansas KDHE.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded. Any other discussion? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Addition to the agenda is proposal of government-built website.
Commissioners, as you know, we have been discussing updating or refreshing our website, and that's been in existence for us since, 2012, 2013, somewhere around in there. And as you know, websites drive business. Also, our website is where we post a lot of information and try to submit things out for the citizens to see. Last year, you approved that we could last year approved a proposal from GovBuilt to create a module for permitting and zoning applications, highway use, environmental services, and that was through GovBuilt. This would be extending or adding those services on, and they would redesign our website, update it. It would go through and make sure that working with our departments, the information is correct, update links, documents, make sure that we've got the correct information as the contacts on that. So I was pleasantly surprised that the estimate that came in, I was anticipating it was going to be considerably higher. The estimate, since we already have a program in place, they're offering us a $5,000 discount. So the amount that we are requesting you approve is $20,920. And there would be an upfront fee of $3,460. And then as the website is designed, there would be 3 other payments. one is the closeout payment, but 3 other payments that we would work with them, as we're working with them, that we would pay out. So, boy, I'm not really talking very well today on this. So, blah, blah, blah. Dustin should do it, but that's okay.
Well, you might, what is replacing?
So we are replacing the website that we currently have with Civic Plus. We will probably run 2 websites currently for a while because we do have to provide a 60-day written notice to Civic Plus, but there's information on a current website that we would be utilizing on the new website. So we'll set up a team from representatives from each department that will work with them. And what we can get are some expanded services that we used to get with Civic Plus, but now we're going to have to pay for, like analyticals, how many people have looked at a page, how many people visited the website, things like that. So we want to make sure that we have that information because I think that's very important. And also provide a website that is easy for our citizens and our staff to be able to navigate and use. So I would request that you approve the proposal. Jesus.
I would move that we approve this government gov-built website for $20,920.
I'll second it. Any discussion?
Well, mention like you say, this actually is a better product and it's user friendly, but it's going to give us some critical information that we need that's going to really be helpful for us. And I appreciate the fact that Dustin was familiar with both of them from his experience in another county, but also you've done research of other counties. So.
And the other thing I forgot to mention was our annual maintenance cost should be lower as well. So that helps. We're currently paying about a little over $8,000 and this will go down $4,500. So that's a significant savings there too.
And also, if you want to come and plan, then do it all on map and you can draw the building out and stuff, which the younger people might be able to do. I don't think I'd be able to do it. But. No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. We'll have a special meeting tomorrow at 9:30.
Or, excuse me, what time?
At 9:30. I looked up too.
Okay.
Yeah. I saw it someplace.
I didn't want to show up early.
No.
By too much.
We'll canvass the presidential primary. Township meeting, March 25th, 2024 at 5:15 Stroll Hall. And we'll be attending the North Central Kansas County Highway Association meeting April 3rd from 8 till 3 in the afternoon in McPherson. Anything else to come before the board? Most make us adjourn.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Stand adjourned.